Today is not just another sunrise. It is the moment your old self begins to fade and your real life starts to breathe. Because nothing changes just because you wish for it. Nothing grows from dreams alone. You must decide and then move. You don't need to be the smartest in the room. You don't need to be the richest or the most talented. You only need one thing that never quits: discipline. The quiet fire that burns when the world goes dark. Because talent fades when life gets hard. But discipline keeps building when no one is watching. Discipline means showing up when it hurts. Keeping promises no one else remembers but you. It means waking up when your body begs to rest. It means fighting your own excuses, one small step at a time. This is where transformation begins. Not in motivation, not in luck, but in consistency and courage. Every decision today shapes the life you'll live tomorrow. Every act of discipline is a brick in the wall of your future. So take a breath, stand tall, and choose to fight for the life you were meant to live. Because today is not just another day. It's the beginning of your rebirth. Discipline begins with one sacred act: keeping the promises you whisper to yourself when no one else is listening. It's not about perfection. It's about truth, the truth between you and your own reflection. When you say, "I'll wake up at 6," the world may not care, but your soul does. Because every broken promise weakens that soul, and every kept promise strengthens it beyond measure. Discipline is not about being strong every day. It's about being honest every moment. You said you'd write, but you scroll. You said you'd study, but you delay. Your mind remembers everything. Every later tells your spirit, "I can't trust you." Every now rebuilds that lost trust. So the next time your alarm rings and your body begs for comfort, whisper back, "I keep my word." It's not about the alarm. It's about the agreement you made with your higher self. A person without discipline lives by feelings. A warrior with discipline lives by principles. When you rise even once against your excuses, you are no longer ordinary. You are becoming unstoppable. The first victory is not over the world. It's over the voice inside that says, "Stay comfortable." Comfort is sweet, but dangerous. It takes your strength slowly, one easy choice at a time. Discipline, on the other hand, hurts for a moment, but that pain turns into pride. When you keep your promise, you feel a silent power rise from deep within, like fire learning to breathe. Do not underestimate small wins. The day you say "I will" and actually do, the universe takes notice. Because energy moves toward commitment. Life rewards those who honor their word. Each promise kept is a seed of trust, and when you water it daily, confidence begins to bloom. Stop breaking deals with yourself. Stop negotiating with your weakness. Stand firm, even when no one claps, especially when no one claps. Because this is how legends are built. Quietly, patiently, one promise at a time. The world sees success as trophies, but discipline sees success as self-respect. Your dream doesn't need noise. It needs proof. Proof that you can trust yourself again. Every morning you wake up and choose discipline. You send a message to your future: "I'm ready." Ready to rise. Ready to rebuild. Ready to fight. because the future only listens to the disciplined. So today, start small. Do the thing you promised, not for applause, but for your own freedom. Freedom comes not from doing whatever you want. It comes from doing what you said you would do. This is where real confidence lives, in the quiet space between intention and action. Keep your word. Keep your fire. Keep your focus. Because the moment you stay loyal to your promise, you stop being afraid and start becoming limitless. Discipline lives only in one place, not in the past that hurts, not in the future that scares you, but in the now. Most people lose control because their minds travel too far. They replay old failures or fear what's coming next. But the truth is simple. You can only act, grow, or change in this very second. The past cannot be rewritten. The future hasn't arrived. All power exists in your present choices. Every time you overthink, you abandon your strength. Because strength doesn't live in memory. It lives in movement. Your mind says, "What if I fail again?" But your discipline answers, "Then I'll rise again." That's the difference between worry and wisdom. Worry freezes. Wisdom acts. Every small action today is a silent rebellion against fear, because fear cannot survive in motion. You don't need to fix everything. You just need to do one thing now, one honest step forward. When your mind says someday, answer today. When it says too late, whisper still possible. Discipline is the art of returning to the present again and again, no matter how far your thoughts wander. The secret is not control, it's awareness. Awareness that this breath, this choice, is all you ever truly own. Imagine every second as a doorway. Each time you walk through it with intention, you rewrite your story. When you say, "I can do something now," you remove the weight of tomorrow. Don't chase perfection tomorrow. Build progress today. Even one small act is power. Because consistency today becomes transformation later. The seed you plant now becomes the forest you rest in one day. The student who once said, "I'm bad at math," learns a new formula today and a new version of themselves tomorrow. You don't need to believe in magic. You just need to believe in the next action. Because one focused minute outweighs 100 distracted hours. Presence is the birthplace of power. So when your mind drifts to what if, bring it home to what now. Do the workout. Write the page. Send the message. The world changes not in plans, but in present acts. You owe your dreams one honest effort today. Not next week. Not next year. Today. Discipline is not a future habit. It's a decision repeated right now, again and again. Forget what you missed yesterday. Forgive yourself and move your feet forward. Because each time you choose the present, you steal back the power that distraction took. Right now is the only time you can change your mind. Right now is the only place you can create your life. Stop waiting for the right moment. This moment is the right one. Every heartbeat reminds you you're still here. So act like it matters. Because tomorrow is built from today's choices, and today is where your greatness begins. Life will make you choose between two kinds of pain, the short sting of discipline or the long ache of regret. Both hurt, but only one leads you to growth, pride, and peace. The pain of discipline comes from doing what's right when it's hard. The pain of regret comes from knowing you could have, but didn't. Think about the nights you stayed up too late. You told yourself you'd wake early, but you hit snooze again. You felt tired, guilty, behind. And that small regret whispered, "You failed yourself." Now imagine the night you chose to sleep early. You woke strong, finished your goals, and felt unstoppable. That is the power of discipline. It gives back what regret steals: self-respect. Discipline hurts in the beginning. Yes, but regret lasts forever and rots your confidence from within. You can feel the pain of control today, or the pain of chaos tomorrow. Every "I'll do it later" becomes a wound. Every "I'll do it now" becomes armor. Discipline says, "This hurts now, but it's worth it." Regret says, "It's too late." Pain of getting up early fades in minutes. The pain of missing your goals lingers for years. Regret is cruel because it never forgets. It visits you when you close your eyes and whispers, "You wasted time." But discipline, it's honest pain. It teaches, molds, and rewards you with peace later. So choose your pain wisely, because one pain breaks you and the other builds you. You will sweat, you will struggle, you will doubt. But in that fire, your strength is born. Every champion has cried behind closed doors, not because they were weak, but because they refused to quit. Discipline whispers, "Keep going." Regret screams, "If only you had." Pain is a teacher, not an enemy. It separates those who try from those who commit. You can either suffer from effort now or suffer from emptiness later. The truth, you will pay a price either way. But discipline gives you something in return: pride. Regret gives you nothing but silence. A quiet voice that says, "You had the chance." So when your body says, "Stop," remember, quitting hurts more than working. When your mind says, "This is hard," reply, "So what? I'm harder." Because every moment of discipline expands your limits. Every moment of regret shrinks your world. Do not fear discomfort. Fear waking up one day wishing you had started sooner. Discipline asks for effort. Regret demands your soul. So embrace the sweat, the struggle, the small sacrifices, because these are the moments that define you. Tomorrow's peace depends on today's pain. Choose the pain that builds your future, not the one that buries it. And when it hurts, smile, because pain means you are alive and growing. Remember this truth forever. Discipline is temporary suffering that creates eternal strength. Regret is easy now, but deadly later. So choose wisdom, choose action, choose the pain that frees you. Because one day, when the world asks how you made it, you'll smile and say, "I chose the harder pain." The word "no" is short, but it can change your entire life, because every no to distraction is a yes to your destiny. Most people fail not from lack of effort, but from saying yes to everything that steals their focus. They say yes to gossip, noise, comfort, and approval. They forget their goals in the noise of other people's plans. But discipline begins the moment you learn to protect your time. to say no without guilt, and yes without fear. No is not rude, it's respect. Respect for your time, energy, and growth. When a friend invites you to a party that adds no value, say no. When your phone begs for attention, say no. Every no you speak builds a wall that guards your focus. Every yes you give without thinking weakens it. Discipline is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most and cutting the rest. When you say no, you are not rejecting people. You are protecting purpose. You cannot chase every noise and still hear your own voice. Silence is the soil where greatness grows. The truth most people won't understand. They'll say, "You've changed," and they'll be right. Because growth always looks like distance to those who stay the same. Let them talk while you build. The discipline to say no is the courage to choose long-term peace over short-term pleasure. Say no to comparison. Say no to gossip. Say no to laziness disguised as rest. Your dreams are not toys. They're sacred. Protect them from anything that wastes your fire. Every no sharpens your direction. Every distraction blurs it. You do not owe the world your presence at every moment. But you owe yourself the focus to become who you're meant to be. There is freedom in saying no. Freedom from noise. Freedom from pressure. Freedom from approval. No is the boundary that keeps your energy sacred, because your energy is gold. Protect it like treasure. The world teaches you to please everyone. Discipline teaches you to please your purpose. Each time you say yes to something meaningless, you say no to something meaningful. So choose carefully. Your future depends on what you allow to touch your time. If you want to fly, you must let go of heavy invitations. You cannot carry everyone into your future. People may not clap for your boundaries, but your peace will, your focus will, your results will. Remember this: your no is not rejection. It is redemption. It gives your life direction again. Say no to distractions. Say no to doubt. Say no to who you used to be. Because every no is a door closing on weakness, and every closed door pushes you closer to strength. One day, those who laughed at your boundaries will ask how you became so focused, so calm, so free. And you'll smile, not with pride, but with peace. Because you finally learned the power of no. The world is loud with talkers. Everyone wants to announce, to impress, to be seen. But the truly disciplined grow in silence. They don't shout about change. They become the change. You don't need to post every goal, every dream, every step. Just move, quietly, powerfully. Because the more you speak, the less you do. The brain celebrates too soon when you brag instead of act. Stop feeding on attention. Start feeding on progress. When you tell the world, "I'll wake at 5," don't say it. Just wake. Let silence clap for you. When you decide to focus, don't explain. Disappear for a while. Let your results speak your name. Discipline doesn't seek approval. It seeks mastery. Think of a seed buried under the soil. It grows in darkness long before it touches the light. That's your process. Your roots of strength are formed in silence, not spotlight. If you chase applause, you'll stop when it fades. If you chase growth, you'll rise even in isolation. Don't waste your fire trying to prove. Use it to build. The quiet ones are dangerous, because while others talk, they create, refine, and advance. Let them doubt your silence. They'll see your strength when the time is right. Silence is your shield from distraction. It keeps you grounded while the world chases noise. So keep your dreams private. Let success become your language. Because those who truly win don't talk about winning. They're too busy earning it. When you move in silence, you protect your momentum. You guard it from doubt, envy, and noise. Not everyone deserves to see your process. Some will only cheer when you've already made it. That's fine, because you didn't grow for applause. You grew for peace. There's a sacredness in working quietly, a purity in knowing you owe success to no one but yourself. When your results arrive, they'll speak louder than any promise. They'll say, "This person did it." So close your mouth, open your calendar, and work. Because dreams don't respond to words, only action. And when it gets lonely, remember, roots grow alone. They dig deep while others seek light too early. Your silence today becomes your strength tomorrow. Your patience today becomes your power later. Don't tell them what you're building. Just build something they can't ignore. Because when you rise, you won't need to say a word. Your results will roar louder than any voice. Work quietly. Win loudly. Let success do the talking. And when they ask, "How did you do it?" you'll smile and whisper, "While you were talking, I was working." Everyone wants the reward. Few want the repetition. But the process is where greatness is born. Discipline is not chasing the trophy. It's falling in love with the practice that creates it. When you love the process, you stop needing motivation. You show up because it feels right, not because it feels easy. Most people quit because they're obsessed with results. They want fast money, fast fame, fast praise. But discipline whispers, slow down, fall in love with the climb, not just the view. When you enjoy the work itself, pressure disappears, because your purpose replaces your pride. The artist who paints with joy doesn't need applause. The runner who loves running doesn't count the miles. And the disciplined soul, they rise every morning grateful for another chance to build. Don't chase perfection. Chase presence. Be fully in the moment of effort. That's mastery. When you clean your room, treat it like art. When you study, do it like gold is hidden in every page. This is how ordinary tasks become sacred, because the energy you bring to them defines who you are. Fall in love with showing up, with giving your best even when no one sees. That is the secret to unstoppable growth, not excitement, but devotion. The process teaches patience. It humbles you before it rewards you. You'll fail, repeat, and fail again. But one day, without noticing, you'll wake up transformed. Because change doesn't happen in one giant leap. It happens in thousands of small, faithful steps. The world celebrates outcomes, but the universe celebrates effort. When you learn to enjoy the repetition, life stops feeling heavy. It feels meaningful. Stop asking, "When will it work?" Start asking, "How deeply can I give to this moment?" Because mastery is built in boredom, in those silent, unseen hours where no one claps. Fall in love with those hours. They're shaping the person you prayed to become. Discipline is not punishment. It's love. Love for your future self. So treat your work like worship. Treat your effort like prayer. Every act matters. The process won't always be exciting, but it will always be worth it. Because the more you show up, the more the process shows you. It reveals your limits, then teaches you to rise beyond them. So when progress feels slow, smile. That's how you know you're growing for real. Fall in love with the grind, the practice, the silence, because that's where your power lives. And one day, when success finally comes, you'll realize it wasn't the reward you wanted. It was the journey. So keep working with joy. Keep learning with patience. Keep building with love. Because the process is not the path to greatness. The process is greatness. Everyone waits for motivation. They say, "I'll start when I feel ready." But feelings are fragile. Discipline is forever. Motivation is a spark. It burns bright, then fades. Discipline is the fire that never goes out. Motivation says, "I want to." Discipline says, "I will, even when I don't want to." That's the difference between the dreamers and the doers. The dreamers wait. The doers work. You don't brush your teeth because you feel inspired. You do it because it's necessary. You don't go to work because it's fun. You go because your word matters. So treat your dreams like your duties. Show up, no matter the mood. The champions you admire, they don't wake up excited every day. They wake up committed. Cristiano Ronaldo once said, "I don't always feel like training, but I do it anyway." That's the difference. Discipline doesn't wait for a good day. It creates one. Motivation is emotion. Discipline is decision. When you act without waiting to feel ready, you build mental muscle, the strength to lead yourself. Most people depend on feeling good to move, but discipline moves first, and the feeling follows. If you rely on motivation, you'll rise for 2 days and fall on the third. If you rely on discipline, you'll rise for life. You don't have to feel powerful to act powerful. Action itself creates power. Discipline is not dramatic. It's quiet, repetitive, and unglamorous, yet unbreakable. So when you feel lazy, remember this truth. The body obeys what the mind commands. Tell yourself, "I will begin," then move, even if it's slow, even if it's small. Because momentum is born in motion, not motivation. You don't wait for confidence. You build it through consistency. Truth. Everyone feels tired, distracted, uninspired. But only the disciplined keep going anyway. And that's what separates the strong from the average. They don't ask, "Do I feel like it?" They ask, "Did I promise it?" Discipline is doing what's right when it's hard. Motivation is doing what's easy when it's fun. One builds confidence. The other builds excuses. So stop chasing the feeling. Chase the habit. Stop waiting to be inspired. Start acting like the person you wish to become. Even 1% of progress every day compounds into a life unrecognizable. The 99% of discipline turns sparks into fire. So when motivation fades, and it will, let discipline hold the torch. Because when you stop needing to feel ready, you become ready for anything. And when that day comes, you'll realize motivation started your journey, but discipline made you unstoppable. Discipline isn't only about habits and schedules. It's about evolution, becoming wiser than you were yesterday. When you stop learning, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start dying slowly inside. The disciplined mind wakes up curious. It asks, "What can I learn today that makes me better?" It could be one new word, one new idea, one new truth. But every small lesson expands your world. Most people repeat the same day for years. Same thoughts, same fears, same stories. They call it a life. But you're not meant to repeat. You're meant to rise. Growth doesn't require a fancy degree. It requires curiosity and hunger. The question isn't, can I learn? It's, do I care enough to? Every night, ask yourself, what did I learn today? And if the answer is nothing, promise to change that tomorrow. Because the day you stop learning is the day you stop leading. Knowledge keeps your fire alive when motivation fades. Even 10 minutes of focused learning each day can rewrite your entire future. Read one page, watch one lesson, ask one question. Small actions, giant transformations. The goal isn't to know everything, it's to stay curious about everything. Because curiosity is the spark that lights your mind again. It reminds you that you're still becoming. Discipline says, I'll learn even when I'm tired. I'll grow even when I fail. And soon, the things that once scared you become the things you now teach others. Your mind is like a muscle. It weakens without challenge. Feed it, stretch it, push it beyond comfort. Even if all you learn today is one truth about yourself, that's progress. That's growth. Learning every day keeps you alive. It keeps your spirit young, sharp, and grounded. So stop scrolling through noise. Start feeding your mind. Because discipline without knowledge is movement without direction. But learning gives your journey purpose. Write down what you discover. Make your notebook a map of your evolution. Every note, every insight, every mistake written, they all become proof that you refuse to stay the same. Knowledge doesn't just inform you, it transforms you. Because wisdom changes how you walk, how you speak, how you live. And people will feel that energy long before they hear your words. So stay hungry. Stay humble. The more you learn, the less you need to prove. The quiet learners eventually become the loudest leaders, because their growth speaks louder than noise. So remember, education is not a phase. It's a lifelong conversation with your potential. And every new thing you learn is another step toward the version of you the world needs. So never stop learning. Never stop becoming. Because knowledge is freedom. Discipline is destroyed by one thing: emotion. The habit of choosing what feels good now instead of what's right forever. Your emotions live in the moment, but your future lives in your decisions. So every time you act based on mood, you sacrifice tomorrow for comfort. And comfort is the silent killer of potential. Discipline asks you to pause and ask one question: will this help the person I want to become? If the answer is no, walk away. Because your future self is watching every choice you make. When you hit snooze, your future self sighs. When you rise early, your future self smiles. When you say, "I'll do it later," your future self waits. When you say, "I'll do it now," your future self thanks you. That's the conversation discipline teaches. The one between who you are and who you could be. The person you want to become isn't built in the future. They're built in every small decision you make today. So when your feelings whisper rest, but your goals whisper rise, listen to your goals. Your feelings are temporary. Your future is permanent. Feelings come and go like weather, but the future is written in your habits. The strong do not act because they feel powerful. They feel powerful because they act. Your emotions are not the enemy. They just shouldn't be the driver. You can acknowledge them without obeying them. You can feel tired and still keep moving. The difference between success and regret is whether you obey your feelings or your vision. Every choice is a vote. You're either voting for the person you dream to be or against them. The version of you that you admire in your mind is waiting for you to show up with action, not excuses. Discipline is the bridge between emotion and evolution. It's how you cross from I feel to I am. Your future self doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency. Even one small disciplined act each day is proof that you're leading, not following your feelings. When you make choices through clarity, not comfort, life begins to open its doors for you. You'll feel proud, calm, and strong, because you'll know you're no longer controlled by moods. Ask yourself daily, is this choice serving my future? If not, let it go, immediately. Because the future isn't built by dreams. It's built by decisions repeated with discipline. One disciplined choice at a time. You're writing the story your future self will thank you for. And one day, you'll look back at all the hard days and realize they were the ones that shaped your power. So stop asking, how do I feel? Start asking, who do I want to be? Then act as if your future self is already watching, because they are. And every time you choose them over your feelings, you take one step closer to becoming unbreakable. The way you start your day decides how you live your life, because mornings build momentum, and momentum builds destiny. Discipline begins the moment you open your eyes. Before the world wakes, your mind is most powerful. If you control your first hour, you control your entire day. But if your phone controls you, you start the day reacting, not creating. That's why disciplined people guard their mornings like treasure. They know it's their sacred time to build. When you wake, do not reach for distraction. Reach for direction. Breathe. Move. Read something that feeds your fire. Write something that reminds you of your mission. Even 15 minutes of focus can shift your entire mindset, because the tone of your morning becomes the rhythm of your life. If you begin with chaos, you'll carry it all day. If you begin with clarity, you'll move with power. Your morning is not just a routine. It's a declaration of who you are becoming. So wake with intention. Don't scroll. Set your soul. Write your goals. Read your affirmations. Move your body. Own your silence. You don't need a perfect morning plan. You just need presence. The first thoughts you allow shape your next actions, so feed them strength, not doubt. Think of your mind as wet cement. Whatever impression you press early will harden throughout the day. Choose wisely. Right courage, not comfort. Right purpose, not panic. The undisciplined wake up late and chase time. The disciplined rise early and create time. Because success isn't about hours. It's about ownership. When you wake with gratitude, the world feels different. You see chances where others see chores. When you start slow and steady, you move through the day with calm power. Your first hour is your anchor. Protect it from noise, negativity, and notifications. Don't let the world's chaos enter before your clarity forms, because peace must be built before battle. Each sunrise gives you a second chance, a fresh page to rewrite your story. So stop saying, "I'm not a morning person." Start saying, "I'm becoming a master of my morning." You don't have to wake up at 4. You just have to wake up with purpose. The morning is your mirror. It reflects your priorities before the world interferes. If you start in control, you stay in control. But if you start in distraction, you chase all day. So tomorrow, rise with a plan. Even if it's small, breathe, move, learn, write. Then watch how one focused morning can transform your entire week. Own your morning. Own your peace. Own your life. The biggest lie your mind tells you is this: I'll start when I'm ready. But perfection never comes, and while you wait for perfect, your dreams grow cold. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never have the perfect tools, time, or confidence. Winners don't wait for the storm to pass. They learn to dance in the rain. Discipline is not waiting for perfect conditions. It's choosing action despite imperfection. The world rewards the brave, not the prepared, because courage is stronger than timing. Start with what you have: the small tools, the little knowledge, the shaky hands. Start messy, start scared, but start. Those who wait for the perfect moment never find it. Those who move create it. The bridge to success is built from broken stones. Every mistake is a step forward if you learn. Perfection is paralysis. Progress is freedom. When you act now, you teach your mind courage. You prove that motion matters more than mastery. Think of every great person you admire. They didn't begin with clarity. They began with faith. Their first work was weak, but their consistency was strong, and consistency beats perfection every time. Don't be afraid to look foolish in the beginning. Be afraid to stay the same forever. You cannot improve what you never start. So stop waiting. Start shaping. The path will never be smooth, but rough roads make strong travelers. Start before you're confident. Confidence is the reward for action, not the requirement. Even 5 minutes of brave work today is more valuable than 5 months of hesitation. Discipline means choosing progress over pride, movement over fear, faith over doubt. When you start with less, your success becomes stronger, because you built it from pure effort, not luck. The imperfect start is always better than the perfect intention, because intentions don't build results, actions do. So use what you have: the broken pen, the old laptop, the tired body, Use it until it becomes enough, because it will. You'll never see the full staircase, but take the first step, and the next will appear. Perfection belongs to imagination. Action belongs to achievers. So begin now. Begin scared, uncertain, shaking, because beginnings built on fear often end in freedom. You don't need to see the finish line to start running. You just need to trust the first stride. The disciplined never wait for perfect. They create perfect through persistence. So take that step today, because someday is not on the calendar. And when you finally begin, you'll realize you were ready all along. Discipline grows stronger when guided by structure. Without rules, your life becomes noise. Without rhythm, without direction. The most powerful people don't wait for control. They create it with their own rules. Your rules are not prison walls. They are the rails that keep your train on track. Most people live reacting to life. The disciplined live by design. So sit down, write your code. 5 rules that will shape your character and protect your mission. Rule 1. I don't break promises to myself. Rule 2. I finish what I start. Rule 3. I guard my energy like gold. Rule 4. I learn something new every day. Rule 5. I don't sleep until my task is done. Simple, clear, non-negotiable. Your rules are your silent army. They fight your laziness before it speaks. Every time you follow your rule, your mind says, I trust you. Every time you break it, that trust dies a little. Self-trust is the root of confidence, and rules are how you grow it. Write your rules where you can see them. Let them stare back at you every morning. They remind you that you run your life, not your excuses, not your emotions. The undisciplined wake up and ask, what do I feel like doing? The disciplined wake up and say, this is what I do. Your rules remove the need to decide every day. Decision fatigue destroys focus. Rules protect it. You don't need 100 rules. You need a few strong ones you never break. Because the more consistent your boundaries, the freer your mind becomes. Structure creates freedom. Without it, you're a slave to impulses. Rules are not punishment. They are the map that leads you back when you get lost. When you feel weak, your rules remind you of who you are. When you feel tired, your rules tell you to keep going. And when you obey your own laws, you rise with an unshakable kind of confidence. Because trust in yourself is not built in motivation, it's built in repetition. Each day you live by your rules. You prove to your mind that your word means something. That's when discipline becomes effortless. It no longer needs willpower. It becomes identity. So build your code, follow it like law, and let the world see what consistency can create. Because in a world of noise and excuses, the one who lives by rules becomes the one who leads. Your rules are your power. Protect them, respect them, live by them. Because the moment you master your rules, you begin to master yourself. Your words are commands to your mind. Every phrase you repeat becomes a belief. Most people destroy their own strength with 3 small words. I can't do it. I'll speak limitation until it becomes truth. But the disciplined replace that weakness with power. Say I must because I must awakens the warrior inside. When you say I can't, your body shuts down. When you say I must, your spirit stands up. Language is energy. Every word builds or breaks your identity. So stop speaking like a victim. Start speaking like a leader. Say, I must wake early. Say, I must focus. Say, I must finish. Oh. The brain listens closely. It follows whatever command you give it most often. Tell it you can't, and it will protect your weakness. Tell it you must, and it will unleash your strength. I can't keeps you safe but small. I must keeps you scared but growing. Oh. Fear will still be there, but now it walks behind you, not in front. When you say I must, your mind prepares for battle. Your energy aligns with action. Because words don't just describe your life, they design it. Every time you speak strength, you program your future for victory. Stop saying, I can't focus. Say, I must control my mind. Stop saying, I can't change. Say, I must evolve. This simple shift rewires your brain for success, because the subconscious obeys repetition, not excuses. It doesn't care what's true. It cares what's consistent. Feed it strength long enough, and your reality will follow your words. This is how warriors are made, through repetition, not magic. Every I must becomes a step forward. Every I can't becomes a chain around your feet. So speak to yourself like someone you respect, because your voice is the loudest influence you'll ever hear. Tell your mind what to build, not what to fear. Your words are blueprints, and your discipline is the architect. So the next time doubt arrives, don't argue, declare. Say it again and again until it echoes in your bones. I must rise. I must finish. I must win. Because when your language changes, your limits do too. And one day, you'll look back and realize the only thing you ever needed to change was your words. So speak power, speak purpose, speak possibility. Because when you say I must, you become unstoppable. Discipline is not about never failing. It's about how you rise after you fall. Everyone makes mistakes, but only the disciplined turn their mistakes into fuel. Weak minds hide their errors and blame others. Strong minds face the mirror and say, it's on me. Owning your mistake doesn't make you weak. It makes you honest, and honesty builds power. When you say, I messed up, you take your power back, because denial keeps you trapped, but truth sets you free. You can't fix what you refuse to face, and you can't grow while pretending you're perfect. Perfection is an illusion. Progress is real, and it's born from correction. So stop hiding your scars. Start studying them. Every mistake carries a message. It whispers, learn me, and you'll never repeat me. When you bury your mistakes, they rot. When you face them, they transform. Failure is not your enemy. Fear of facing failure is. The moment you admit I was wrong, you reclaim control of your direction. Because humility is the seed of wisdom, and wisdom is the foundation of strength. Let your mistakes humble you, not humiliate you. Use them to sharpen your focus, not shatter your faith. It takes courage to confess, but it takes even greater strength to change. When you fail, don't hide in shame. Stand in awareness. Say, "Yes, I failed," then ask, "What did it teach me?" This is how you turn pain into purpose. Mistakes are teachers dressed in frustration. They arrive to correct your direction. If you ignore them, they return louder. If you learn from them, they disappear forever. Every lesson costs something: time, effort, or pride. But the price of ignoring it is always higher. So let your failures become your fuel. Turn regret into drive, and guilt into growth. When you forgive yourself, you stop repeating your mistakes. When you blame yourself, you stay stuck in them. Discipline is not about never falling. It's about learning faster each time you do. Each mistake reveals a weakness, and every weakness faced becomes new strength. You don't have to be proud of your past, but you should be proud of how far you've come from it. The world doesn't respect the one who never fails. It respects the one who never hides from failure. Own your story, the good, the bad, and the broken. Because truth gives you wings that shame never could. Your scars are not ugly. They are evidence of your survival. So hold your mistakes close. They're the proof that you had the courage to try. And when you rise from them, wiser, calmer, stronger, you'll realize failure never broke you. It built you. The true test of discipline doesn't come when you feel strong. It comes when you feel empty. Anyone can work hard on a good day, but warriors show up even on the worst ones. Your routine is your battlefield, and every morning, you must choose to fight again. There will be days when you're tired, heavy, unmotivated, when your mind whispers, "Not today." But that's when discipline speaks loudest. That's exactly why today matters. Routine is the temple where transformation lives. It's boring, repetitive, invisible, and that's why it works. Every time you show up when you don't want to, you're building a muscle no one can see: self-respect. You're telling your mind, "I am the leader here, not my comfort, not my feelings, not my excuses." Even one small act done consistently can rewrite your entire identity. Because repetition builds belief, and belief builds greatness. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your routine. So protect your habits like a soldier guards his post. Your progress depends on your persistence, not your passion. There will be no applause for your discipline, only the quiet satisfaction of knowing you showed up again. And that's enough, because every small victory compounds into power. The lazy look for motivation. The disciplined rely on momentum. When you move, even a little, your body wakes up, and soon, your spirit follows. That's why the first step is always the hardest, but also the most important. When you keep your routine through fatigue, you're teaching yourself how to stay strong under pressure. That's where confidence is born, not from success, but from self-control. Your routine is your shield against chaos. When life feels uncertain, it keeps you grounded. It reminds you that you can still choose order, even in the middle of storms. So do it anyway. Even when your body says no and your heart feels empty. Because on the other side of that resistance is pride, the kind that no one can take away. Every time you keep your promise, you earn a little more trust with yourself. And that trust becomes your strength in every challenge ahead. That's the quiet fire inside the disciplined. Routine is not glamorous. It's lonely, repetitive, and often invisible, but it works. Because greatness doesn't happen in big moments. It happens in small, consistent ones. So tomorrow, when you don't feel like it, remember this: the act itself is the victory. Do it tired, do it bored, do it anyway. Because your strength is being built right there. Follow your routine, and your routine will follow you into success. In a noisy world, silence has become rare, but silence is where the truth speaks. Most people run from their thoughts. They drown them in music, screens, and endless scrolling. But discipline begins when you stop escaping, when you sit with your mind and listen. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. When you stop running from your thoughts, you finally meet the person you've been avoiding, yourself. At first, it's uncomfortable. Your mind will fight, distract, and shout for escape. But stay still, because underneath the noise is clarity. 10 minutes of quiet each day can change everything. You'll start to see patterns, fears, and truths. You'll understand why you avoid certain things. You'll see how often you sabotage your own peace. Most people don't grow because they never slow down. They confuse busy with productive. But silence is not laziness. It's discipline for the mind. It teaches you to observe your thoughts instead of obeying them, to understand before reacting. When you sit quietly, you'll hear your fears whispering their lies. But you'll also hear your intuition, the calm voice that knows your truth. In silence, you learn that you are not your chaos. You are the watcher behind it. That awareness is power, because once you can see your thoughts, they stop controlling you. The world teaches you to always move faster, but wisdom says, slow down, see clearly. Stillness sharpens focus. It clears the fog that distraction creates. Try sitting without your phone. No music, no noise, just breath and awareness. At first, your mind will scream. It hates silence because silence reveals the truth. But keep sitting. Eventually, your thoughts slow down and you begin to see. You'll see what hurts. You'll see what heals. You'll see what matters. Discipline is not just doing. It's also being aware, being still, being honest. Because silence rebuilds your strength. It connects you back to peace. Every time you sit quietly, you take back control. You stop being a slave to noise. And in that stillness, you'll find your most disciplined self, calm, aware, unshakable. So stop running from your thoughts. Meet them. Listen. Then rise wiser. Because when you master silence, you master yourself. Discipline is the art of waiting, the strength to say, not now, later, when it truly matters. The world worships speed, quick money, quick fame, quick results. But what comes fast, fades fast. What grows slow, endures forever. Delayed gratification is not punishment, it's mastery. the ability to choose long-term peace over short-term pleasure. When you train in silence, unseen and unpraised, you are building a foundation others can't touch. While others chase comfort, you chase growth. While they seek validation, you seek transformation. The dark hours, when no one's watching, that's where champions are made. It's easy to shine when the spotlight is on, but true power is forged in silence. Every time you resist the urge for instant reward, you strengthen the muscle of patience. Patience is not weakness, it's control. Most people quit because the reward takes too long, but time only reveals the ones who are serious. Disciplined plant seeds others can't see. They water them quietly until one day, everything blooms. You must fall in love with the unseen effort, the late nights, the repetitions, the long waits. Those invisible seasons build unshakable strength, because what's grown in darkness never fears the light. Every shortcut steals from your future. Every patient step adds to it. You can either enjoy comfort now or freedom later. You cannot have both. When you delay gratification, you prove to yourself, I control my desires. They don't control me. That's the essence of true power, the ability to wait, build, and endure without applause. You don't need the world to notice you. You need to keep building until they can't ignore you. Discipline says, not today, temptation. I'm saving my energy for what lasts. Because the strongest are not the fastest. They're the ones who can wait without quitting. So train in the dark. Do the work no one sees and everyone benefits from later. When you study while others scroll, when you practice while others rest, you're investing in greatness. Reward may take months, years, maybe decades, but it will come, and it will be worth it. So stop chasing quick highs, start chasing deep peace. Because real success isn't about how fast you rise, it's about how long you last. When others ask, how did you do it? You'll smile and say, I trained in the dark. So delay the reward, delay the applause, delay the comfort, because the longer you wait, the stronger you become. Patience isn't weakness. It's power in disguise. Remember this. Those who can wait can win anything. Discipline is a lonely road. Not everyone will understand the path you've chosen. They'll say you've changed, and they're right. You've evolved. Growth demands separation, sometimes from friends, sometimes from comfort, sometimes from who you used to be. You cannot carry everyone into your future. Some will slow you down, others will doubt your dream. But that's okay, because solitude sharpens your spirit. Strongest souls are forged in quiet places, where no one claps and no one sees the effort. You don't need validation to keep going. You need vision. Let others chase attention. You chase transformation. They might call your discipline obsession, but obsession is what turns dreams into reality. Not everyone can handle your focus, and that's fine. You're not here to be liked. You're here to grow, to become the version of yourself that no longer seeks permission. Loneliness is not punishment, it's preparation. The cocoon is silent before the butterfly appears. Your silence means you're becoming something greater. You'll lose people, yes, but you'll find purpose. and that's a fair trade. Some nights you'll question yourself. You'll wonder if the isolation is worth it. It is, because peace is priceless, and clarity grows in quiet soil. Don't lower your standards to keep company. Raise your standards until the right people rise with you. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Protect it like gold, because it is a... The crowd loves comfort. The disciplined love purpose. Let them misunderstand you. They laughed at every visionary before they listened. You're not walking away from them. You're walking toward your higher self. Sometimes you must walk alone to find your direction. Silence your world so you can hear your truth. Remember, solitude doesn't mean you're alone. It means you're with your purpose, completely. Every great transformation begins in isolation, where you break, rebuild, and rise again. So when no one claps, clap for yourself. When no one believes, believe anyway. Crowd will return when the results arrive, but you'll no longer need their noise, because you'll have found something deeper: self-trust, peace, and direction. So walk alone if you must. Walk with your head high, your fire steady, your heart faithful. 'Cause one day, those who doubted your silence will wonder how you built so much in the dark. And you'll smile softly, not out of pride, but out of peace, because you finally found yourself. Energy is your most precious currency. How you spend it decides the quality of your life. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they waste their fire on what doesn't matter. Every argument, every scroll, every meaningless task, they all drain your spirit drop by drop. Discipline is energy management. Knowing what deserves your light and what deserves your silence. When you protect your focus, your life expands. When you scatter it, your strength dissolves. Ask yourself every day, does this feed me or drain me? Then choose with intention. Not every message needs a reply. Not every noise deserves your attention. You don't owe everyone your time, but you owe your purpose your full energy. Some people love chaos because it keeps them distracted. You love peace because it keeps you powerful. Guard your mornings, guard your thoughts, guard the company you keep. Because energy is contagious, and negativity spreads faster than fire. The disciplined know when to walk away, not from weakness, but from wisdom. You cannot build empires in rooms filled with noise, so choose silence over drama, solitude over gossip. Stop explaining your peace to those who feed on conflict. You don't need their approval to rest. Focus is fuel. Don't let distractions set it on fire. Every minute spent arguing online is a minute stolen from your purpose, and purpose is too sacred to waste. So unplug, step outside, breathe, reconnect with the quiet strength within you. The more you protect your energy, the clearer your path becomes, because chaos fades when focus enters. Say no more often, not out of pride, but out of priority. You are not available for everything. You are available for what aligns with your growth. This is not selfish. It's self-respect. Protecting your energy is protecting your future, and your peace is the foundation of your power. When you master your energy, you stop chasing validation and start creating value. Because energy, once focused, becomes creativity, confidence, and clarity. It turns effort into excellence. You don't need to do more. You just need to waste less. So the next time something pulls your attention, ask, will this matter in 5 years? If not, walk away. Because every no to distraction is a yes to a stronger, calmer, wiser you. Your energy is gold. Spend it like treasure, not like spare change. And soon, you'll realize a peaceful mind is the richest form of success. No amount of discipline will last if you don't believe you deserve the life you're building. Belief is the heartbeat of discipline. It's what keeps you moving when no one else understands. Can't fight for a dream you don't feel worthy of. So the first act of courage is believing you can. Even when you fail, even when you fall, even when your reflection shows exhaustion instead of progress. You are not broken. You are becoming. Every scar, every stumble, every restart is proof that you're still in the fight. Belief is not arrogance. It's faith, the quiet knowing that you are capable of more. The world will test you. It will doubt you, ignore you, laugh at your dreams. But your belief must be louder than their noise, because your voice creates your reality. Say it out loud, I am strong, I am focused, I am growing. The words you speak to yourself every morning become the world you live in tomorrow. Stop saying, maybe I can. Start saying, I will. Because belief gives direction to your discipline. It reminds you why you started. Tom, the truth, no one is coming to save you, but you can save yourself by believing again. There is power in self-acceptance. When you say, I am enough, life starts to expand. Because belief fuels consistency, and consistency creates transformation. You'll have days when everything feels heavy, when doubt crawls in and whispers, you're not good enough. That's when you speak back. I've come too far to stop now. Because belief is a choice you make daily. It's an act of resistance against fear. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need one, yourself. Your inner voice becomes your compass. Train it to speak love, not limitation. When you believe deeply, action feels natural, and every step forward strengthens that belief again. You'll stop asking for permission. You'll start creating your own doors. Belief is contagious. When you walk in confidence, others begin to rise too. That's how leaders are born, through self-trust that refuses to die. So believe loudly. Even if your voice shakes, speak faith over fear. Say, I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. Say, I'm not perfect, but I'm progressing. Because your words today become your wings tomorrow, and your belief becomes the bridge between who you are and who you'll be. So look in the mirror, breathe deep, and say it again. I believe in me. Because when your mind believes, your heart follows. And when your heart follows, your actions awaken. Believe in yourself loudly, because that belief is the beginning of everything. Everything you've learned leads here. Discipline was never just about habits. It was about honor. When you keep your promises, when you rise again and again, you're proving that your life matters. This journey is not about being perfect. It's about being present, showing up no matter what. The pain you felt, the sacrifices you made, the lonely mornings, they all built someone stronger. You are no longer who you were. You are becoming who you were meant to be. Remember, this success is not luck. It's the reward of every silent battle you've won. So keep going, keep building, keep believing, because your future self is already there, watching, smiling, clapping quietly for your courage. Don't let them down. Make them proud. And if even one word from this story touched your heart, write in the comments what you'll change today. Then subscribe, not just to this channel, but to your own growth. Because the world needs your light, and your time to rise is now.